And we're live. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me either live or for the replay. Make sure you comment along if you're watching either one. I would love to feel like we're all here together in my stamping studio. Thank you again for joining me. I'm Kelly, and I'm going to be taking you through some cards tonight on the video here, as well as going through the special that's going on with some of our stamps right now. 15% off, and look, there's a lot of them there. Like, wow, right? So I'm going to flip you around, and then I can start taking you through the catalog. People are starting to join here. Hi, Vanessa. It's so good to see you. I'm going to stop looking at the comments now. You're going to see my ceiling for a second here. Oh, boy. You know, I just love it when stuff like this happens. There we go. All right, let's turn this around. There we go. Hey, look at that. I'll get my cell phone cord out of there because, of course, went to go live. Oh, 30% battery. Like, that's not going to be good at all. So we've got to be plugged in here. It's always an adventure when we're live, I think. Okay, so I alluded to the fact. Hi, Vilkis. Hi, Kathy. Oh, it's so good to see you guys joining. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to stop looking at the comments, I swear, just so that I'll stay focused because there's so many things to show you. So we've got our annual catalog, and this one, at this point of the year, is definitely not old hat at all, but they always seem to run a promotion that gives us a little bit of a percentage off some of the stamps in here. I know we're all focused on the Handmade for You. This is the holiday mini catalog, and it's so amazing. Every single page in this catalog has got wish list items for me. So I hope that you've enjoyed the stuff that we've played with so far in club, and I know that you're going to love the cards tonight. I hope you love them, actually. I know that you're going to love them because they're so fun. Okay, anyways, we're going to go through tonight and just talk a little bit about the stamps that are for sale. Now, Stampin' Up! Is offering a 15% off sale right now, starting tomorrow and ending tomorrow. 24-hour sale. So, if you want any of these stamps, you just let me know. I'd be happy to place the order for you. You can definitely save on shipping for orders under $100. But they would come to me, so you just have to pick them up from me. But still, that's a good deal, isn't it? Especially if you just wanted one. I'm not going to go through prices, but I'd be happy to give you prices. Once, you know, you get me your list, I would be happy to calculate that out for you. And if those comments are in the way, or the people doing the likes and the thumbs up, which I hope you guys do, as soon as you see something that you really like, please share those likes and those hearts. That just makes me know what you love, and you might see some more of that kind of stuff then in future clubs. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge, please show me what you like, okay? Thumbs up, loves. Please don't do any frowny faces. That would be sad. What you love. Okay, so let's get started. 15% off all of these, but this Gorgeous Posies is the first one that's on sale, and it is a little bit shrunken down, so I wouldn't want you to look this over, but it actually coordinates with this Gorgeous Posies card kit. Now, if you're the type of person who loves having projects prepped for you by, say, a demonstrator, you're going to love this kit. It's all prepped for you by Stampin' Up, and it comes all in one cute little box, and it coordinates, and then you just purchase the stamp set and the ink pad you probably have, and you can make all these cute cards. Make 16 cards, so it's a really good deal for $44, including all the consumables that you get. Okay, so the stamp set that coordinates with that kit is on sale. All right, I'm going to try to keep this quick for you guys because, oh my goodness, I could talk all day with these. Page 15, we've got To a Wild Rose that's on sale. Many of these are products that have coordinating dies or punches. Oh, whoops. Coordinating punches, like this a little umbrella punch, but you can see they're no longer bundled together. So you're no longer bundling and saving 10%. So it makes sense for you to purchase the stamp set at 15% off. That's a fantastic deal. That's a great way to do it. And look at this. They've stamped on the glimmer paper. Can you guys see that? Oh, it's so cute. So again, coordinating products is what Stampin' Up! Is all about. The Dress to Impress also has coordinating dies, but they sure make you have more design inspiration, I think. High Tide is one of my absolute favorites. This one is a Pinterest crazy set. You'll see these birds and the water and these flying birds everywhere on Pinterest. So you've probably seen cards with this on Pinterest and maybe not have even known what set they're from. But this one includes everything. It has wonderful sayings, it has two-step stamping, and then lots of pieces that you can put together and make beautiful artisan cards. Game On is a really fun one. It kind of is etched looking, so it's a great one for some really cool masculine cards. Or Gemology, this one is really fun too. Maybe you overlook that. That's not my kind of camping. I go camping a lot, but not that kind of camping. I'm in a trailer, which is more glamping, right? We've got Loyal Leaves as well. This one to me, I've got actually some necklaces that look like that, but this one just screams at me to be embossed. So I have this set. I have yet to use it, but I think before the fall is done, dare we even say that, I have to use that and make some beautiful gilded leaves. Look what they've done here with some beautiful colored leaves. We've also got Whiskey Business. That's so funny, isn't it? And that's another one that looks great. You can put some sparkly crystal effects on there, make it look like glass. Here's a card, has fantastic sayings. Words cannot express the deep sorrow felt on your behalf. May your heart find the peace it needs. So they're all two-step stamps that are kind of broken apart, so you can put one on the outside and one on the inside. All right, the next one here. Look at all my tabs. I've got tabs for club and tabs for the sale. Holy. So Many Mates here is another one that's got lots of two steps. So one for the outside, one for the inside, and you can totally do the small one for the outside too. That's not a problem. Or you can see some of them, they put both of them on there too. So I'm sure you guys can come up with all kinds of crazy design things. Pretty Parasol is another one that goes with that umbrella punch. How cute is that with the little tassels and the fringe that goes on there? And then Seaside View. Oh, doesn't this one just make you want to go there right now? I think we're all going to be gravitating towards cards that give us a little bit of a vacation, right? I think we could all use a little vacation. Frame for You on page 47 is another fun one. They've got some great samples there. And Basket of Blooms coordinates with our punch from Celebration last year, or I should say this past Celebration from 2020. His Love is another stamp set that's really great and has beautiful imagery. I love this one. And then we've got Celebration of Tags. This one's really cool, and you'll see that the lines here are actually indicating this. This is one stamp, this is one stamp, and this is one stamp. And the same thing with the coordinating dies. So you stamp it once, and then you run it through your die cutting machine, and you get 3 tags. And this one gives you a little sampling of everything. So you can see that cute little zebra in there. We've also seen this whale before, the whale style. And then it gives you a range of styles, and then of course a blank one too. So this one's really versatile. It's nice if you want a sampling of everything. We've got the Zoo Globe. This one goes with our little snow globes, and it's a fun way of switching it up so you can use them all year round. Borders Abound is also on sale for 15% off. These are all 15% off. Now, My Meadow and all of these ones that have this beautiful brushwork, they're all on sale. So what I would recommend doing is getting them now, because you can mix and match and interplay the different swooshes. So you might have one. Honestly, I would recommend all of them, all 3 of them. This My Meadow is a little bit more springtime, summertime, but again, it gives you these little speckles, which you can turn into leaves for fall on all the different trees, or you can even turn them into snowflakes too, right? We've got, oh, here we go, Snowfront. This is the one of these that's a little bit more frosty in theme. You've got Frosty the Snowman there, and some swooshes that could be snow, mountains, and some other trees. But again, this doesn't have to be just winter scenes, right? You can make these gorgeous green trees and a beautiful green meadow with the cute little deer in it. We've got Nature's Beauty. That one's also on sale. And Perfectly Plaid. This one coordinates with our Tree Punch. And this one came out last Christmas. I really like that you get 4 different kinds of trees that are totally different. So one that's more stylized, one that's got the plaid, and then one that is quite realistic looking. All right, next one here, Itty Bitty Christmas. Oh my gosh, what can I say about this? It's just all the Christmas things that you could ever need. And they're perfect and small, so they can go with any design. Tags, Tags, Tags is another one of the 1, 2, 3 stamps, where it gives you 3 for one stamp and 3 for every die cut that you do. And Snowman Season, of course, goes along with our Snowman Punch. So adorable. I have a hard time thinking about snow right now because sometimes it just seems a little bit too real. I get excited and then I dread it, and then I get excited and I dread it. It has to do totally of when I'm making cards. I'm excited about making Christmas cards, but I don't want snow. Thank you very much. Dandelion Wishes is also for sale, 15% off. And Massive Thanks. This is a really cute one. You always need thank you cards too. They're just so handy to have. But I love this one. This isn't just a thank you card. It's a hug with a fold in the middle. Oh, isn't that nice? So you can give that to all of your friends who you wish you could hug in person right now. Butterfly Gala is another one that has a coordinating punch. This one's actually a punch that has 2 butterflies in it. So once again, you stamp the 2 butterflies and then you can punch them out with just one punch. I love the fonts and the text on this one. I just think it's so beautiful. We had a whole event around it in the spring of last year, actually, 2019. Grace's Garden is another one that has a really cute die pack that coordinates. And we had a lot of fun with this one with all the coloring that you can do. So many options for building up different scenes in that. Comfort and Hope is another one that's really fun. This one, you can build up backgrounds. So they've done a little bit of emboss resist there. They've just stamped it there. But think about this as more than just, you know, a stamp that you could put on your paper. You could do all kinds of different things with these textured backgrounds. I also really like the saying in here, sending you a paper hug. There's a theme, isn't there? I'm trying to give out as many hugs as I can. Country Home on page 89 has got some great sayings, and then you can put whichever piece of greenery that you want on top of your jugs. Page 90, Ridiculously Awesome. This is one that I'm really surprised to see on the sale, actually, because they had no trouble moving this. This was probably one of the most popular stamp sets when this catalog came out. It's actually designed by Rhonda Wade, and she is a $1 million sales achiever with Stampin' Up! And her wish for designing a stamp set was actually to have Sean Douglas, who is the husband of our CEO, Sarah, actually do the hand lettering on this. So it's a really fun stamp set with some great sayings that really make an impact. All you need is a bit of pattern paper or some, you know, fun embellishments, and then that saying just says it all. Next, we've got a couple on this page, actually. So from All of Us, we've seen kind of animals all together like this before, but these ones are a little bit more exotic for us North American folks. And I really like that one. It's very playful and very fun. The Special Someone is just adorable. Look at that little raccoon. And you can stamp him and then stamp the coloring into him too. It's really quick and easy. Same thing, of course, with the balloons. And I like the little heart balloon. Okay. A Grandkid. This, I think, is essential for any grandma who loves their grandkids. They're so fun. Best grandkid ever. And to an extraordinary granddaughter, I just think that these are so fun and so special. This is a set, I think, that, you know, once you get it and you're a grandparent, you can just keep stamping and stamping and stamping with that. You'll never grow tired of it. Moving along, I think, is going to be one of my purchases because I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I have a little 4-year-old now. He just turned 4 the other day, and he's obsessed with things that move, and that's what this is all about. So I'm thinking that I can, you know, kind of pass this off as some home learning, as a coordination skill of trying to stamp the solid image into the framed image. What do you guys think? You like that idea? anything to, you know, buy yourself a little bit of time and have some fun, right? Happiest of Birthdays is another fun one with lots of bold sayings. Zany Zebras, I'm going to feature on one of my cards tonight. So I hope you like this one and want to get it for yourself as well for 15% off. I don't want to call anyone out as a lazy stamper, but I'll put my hand up first, as sometimes I am a lazy stamper. I just want something quick and easy and get it done, and sometimes it's just the motion of stamping that I want. So the wonderful thing about zebras is that they are black and white, and so you stamp in black ink onto white paper and you're done. No coloring required. So I'm going to take it up a little bit with the card that I'm doing tonight and put a little hat on the zebra. But other than that, really there's no coloring involved. It's so fun. Hooray to You is also on sale, 15% off. And then on this page, Way to Goat. This one is another perfect one. And if you have a little sassy saying, this face, oh my gosh, that's my everything. On page 106, we've got Family Party. This one's got lots of sayings and then of course the numbers, which really come in handy. Page 107, Senior Years. This is another little bit of a sassy one. Is it hot in here or is it just the candles on your cake? I like that. You have to be careful who you give that to. But I'm sure you guys know at least one person who could take a joke like that. On page 111, Sending Sunshine is gorgeous. This is a 3-step stamp where you stamp the sun and then you stamp the reflection in the water and then the larger reflection in the water, and you can see, you can build up a really beautiful scene. You guys see that? Again, if you're just joining in now, just swipe the comments to the side if you're having trouble seeing things. Embrace Each Moment is another beautiful one. That one evokes a lot of emotion for me anyways. I don't know, it probably does for a lot of people. That's probably why they did it, right? That's what giving cards is about, is making you feel things. Hi Brenda, it's so good to see you. I know I'm peeking at the comments. I shouldn't though. Focus, focus. Page 115, Beautiful Friendship is another really beautiful one. This one's great for using with different colors and kind of creating a collage. So you can see there how they built up the images. Bloom and Grow is another fun one. Has a die pack too. On page 118, we've got 2 different flower sets. And I will admit, there are a lot of flower sets in this catalog. Guess what? People like stamping with flowers. But a real winner for me is this Floral Essence one. This one is great because it gives you an option of a line drawing so that you can color it in, and also some solid images if you want to just do some quick stamping. This one here has a coordinating punch, but don't get hung up if you don't have that punch, because all you do is stamp that once and then do a turn and then stamp it so that the petals are coming out this way. The center gets a little bit darker, but then you get all the petals going around, and then you don't have to worry about having a punch or not. Inspiring Iris is another really beautiful one. We call it 2-step stamping when you stamp the outline and then you have the inner colored in part that you can stamp separately, and you can really make this one look like you've watercolored and spent a lot of time, but meanwhile it's just been a quick little stamp. All right, on page 125 we've got Swirly Frames. Page 128, Friend Like You. This one's really fun graphics for those palm trees. You guys sensing a theme here? Because I am. I want to get out of here. Waterfront, page 129. This was the one that started it all, and truly it did start it all. When this stamp set first came out, I feel like it was revolutionary. We had so much fun playing with these different swishes and turning them into mountains and reflections and lakes and making palm tree scenes or making forest scenes. And this one has some great sayings too. So really, I think an essential one. Walk in the Woods on page 134 has maybe the cutest sample in the whole catalog. Oh, I just love it. Page 135, Queen Anne's Lace. This is actually one that you can get for free if you sign up to be a demonstrator right now. So if you want more information on that, just let me know. Textured Essentials. This is another one that's really great for backgrounds. And what else do we have here? We've got some of our big background stamps. So these ones are actually about this big, the size of a card front, but they're really beautiful. So we've got all 3 of the brand new ones that are on sale. So Dry Brush, Camouflage, and Stacked Stone. I just love the look of those. Page 139 has our last stamp that's on sale, but this one is truly an essential. It gives you the entire alphabet in uppercase and lowercase, and you'll see they've even given you some letters that are connected. And then they've also given you multiples of certain letters. So like they've given you 2 R's here. So the reason for that is so you can actually make a full word and mount them all onto the same block and then ink it up and stamp it and get the whole word all in one. So really great there. Okay, now do you guys want to see our paper pumpkin for this month? Ooh, I know I've got so many things to show you. Okay, so inside this paper pumpkin, I'm just going to put this to the side for a second because I'll talk about that in a minute. We've got an adorable stamp set. So this is actually quite similar to a stamp set that we're using tonight, which is called Gather Together. So Gather Together has a beautiful fall theme, but if you noticed the cards or the stamps on this one, it actually covers Halloween and fall. So you've got your little witch's hat there, you've got pumpkins that you can turn into a jack-o'-lantern, and then you've got lots of great sayings there, as well as some cute little extra embellishments. So if you're a person who likes Halloween and who likes fall, this is kind of a stamp set that covers it all. So you can get this stamp set in this kit. The Paper Pumpkin is a subscription service, or a subscription box that you get that gives you projects each month. And these projects are really cute. They're adorable little, kind of, what are they called? Crackers. Usually we have them at Christmas time, but these are really fun fall ones. So can you see they're actually already scored, ready to go. They've got this adorable little scallop trim. And then you just fold them up, put a little bit of adhesive on them, and you can fill them with whatever you want. So there was a thread on our demonstrator page that people were talking about, what could you put in here? And there were all kinds of suggestions. One of my favorite suggestions was to put in a little lip chap. So I thought that was a great idea. It doesn't always have to be about candy or chocolate. Even though I like those things, it's sometimes nice to be able to put something else in too. So again, the full kit is for $29. I'm switching to $30 next month. But for this month, you can get this for $29, a steal of a deal. The full kit comes with the stamps, the ink spot. It gives you adhesive and a whole bunch of twine, and then the supplies to make 20 of these cracker boxes. Can you guys see that there? We've got some die cuts of black cats. Now, I don't want you guys to think, oh, I don't need crackers. I don't need this kit. Because you can do so much more than just crackers. They've given you a ton of embellishments. So you're going to have way more if you even wanted to turn these into cards. And of course, this is just pattern paper too. It has some lines on it, but you could totally use that for just pattern paper in the back and get creative with some cards. If you guys are curious and want a little bit more information, you just let me know and I'd be happy to send a few images to you of some other things that demonstrators have been busy creating. These ones are all die cuts. Got the cute little hat, which is kind of like the Harry Potter sorting hat too. And we've got, can you guys see that there? They're all die cuts. Tons of them. Some white ones. And some flowers. So this is a really great kit. So again, 20 of those little cracker boxes with tons of embellishments left over. And then of course the stamp set that goes along with it too. So you just let me know. I've got 2 extra of these kits available right now. But I want to tell you about the next thing that we have coming next month. Yes, it's Christmas. So Joy to the World. It says bells are ringing, angels are singing, and the new Joy to the World Paper Pumpkin Kit is coming soon. This kit includes supplies for 8 elegant holiday cards and is perfect for connecting with people you love during this festive time. This actually includes sayings in French and German and English. So you've got all of your languages covered depending on who you have in your life. You can send these all over the world. So if you want this kit, you can definitely sign up before October 10th. And you can even get your club cards free next month if you wanted to sign up for this kit next month too, before the 10th. So if you have questions about that, you just let me know, okay? I'd be happy to answer them. Okay, you guys ready to get started? Oh boy, I have another paper pumpkin box. I keep all the kits here, or all my little supplies in my paper pumpkin box to keep them all organized. But this is the first card that I'm going to show you how to make. Aren't they cute? So you can choose to do it horizontal or vertical, however you choose. But let's get started. I'm using some supplies that I've already pre-prepped for myself tonight. So let me just get all these goodies out here. There we go. Okay, so I've already stamped this actually with that Zany Zebra set. That was one of those sets in the beginning that I talked about that are all 15% off right now. So this one is great because I'll show you how I mounted up to do these different stamps. Can you guys see that? I've put them on the same block so I could just do the stamp once. And like I said, it's a little bit lazy stamping because you just stamp it with the black onto the Whisper White and then you're good to go. So you could really make this card, I think, with any stamp set that you have that has a cute little partying animal, or where is my bone folder? There it is. Cute little partying animal, or you know, maybe just a fun big saying. You may have recognized from a kit that I actually included in your club cards last month. It's from the paper pumpkin kit from the night before, the month before. And it's called Summer Night. So you've got all these cute little fireflies. You've got all these lanterns in the different colors. You've got the bottom Ferris wheel and roller coaster. And it includes all different kinds of products in there. So this is a vellum and gold embossed little mason jar there. And you can see you can put some of the fireflies into the jar. I just love that. It also includes some embossed die cuts. I've purchased quite a few of these refills, and so if you want to get your hands on them, you definitely can. They're just $13, and it gives you supplies for 9 postcards. Those are the designs that they say. So it doesn't include the stamp set. That would be like any of these little fireworks and the sayings, but everything else you can do on this, and I'm sure you have something at home that would work to go along with it. So if you want any of these are called the refill kits for the summer nights. Again, $13, and then plus shipping and handling and GST, it means it's $15. So a steal of a deal with all the supplies. Now, I've already pre-embossed these, but these are the card backs, and I've embossed some trees on them. We did this last month with a little bit of inking and making those trees really pop out. But look at these backgrounds. Aren't they beautiful? And you can't get this pattern paper anywhere else other than this kit. So it's a really great kit to get, even though the summer might be over officially as of whenever. Yesterday? Today? Still, we can pretend that it's summer, right? So I'm going to just show you how to make this background here. Now, I'm using a paper pack that actually coordinates pretty perfectly with the color scheme of those lanterns from that kit. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back. I put dimensionals on some of my other projects, but I forgot to do this one. There we go. And then I just like to use this little strip of gold foil to make it look like there is a big sheet of gold foil in behind here. But shh, don't tell anyone. I'm saving paper. I know you guys do that too. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. Now, I might do this one vertical as well, just because we have so many horizontal cards to make tonight. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal just on the back here to, what am I doing? There we go. To put a little bit of seal on there to glue down one side of my twine. And then I can kind of lay this on my card. Actually, I don't have adhesive on there. Never mind. Then I'm going to lay out my lanterns, and I'm going to sandwich them in the order that I would like to see them. And then you just thread your thread through there, and you can put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on the other side, down a little bit. It's nice to have a little bit of drape going on. You can kind of pull it out a little bit if you need to. There we go. That's cute. Now, before I do anything else, I'm just going to adhere this onto my card base. And then that will secure it so that I can do the rest of my project. Aren't these pattern papers cute though? I just think they're adorable. Now, I like that all these are turned over nicely, ready to go for my dimensionals. Almost like they know. Thank you, little lanterns. Making my life easy. I'll just take off those. And then I'll just place them down. The wonderful thing about dimensionals is you can lightly place them and then you can move them a little bit too if you need to. What do you guys think? So cute, right? Now, oh dear, look at this. I've got my You Party animal, so I should have made my little swoop going the other way. Shoot. So anyways, if I was designing this, I would make this little zebra kick up on this side, and then the You Party animal. So when I stamped this, I stamped it a little bit over to the left so that I could cut this off. But anyways, you guys know I'm probably going to fix this after the video is done. I do like my cards a certain way. I'm a little bit particular like that. All right, well, this one will be like this for now. And then you just take your paper trimmer. I'm going to come in here with that. And you just line it up and you can trim it right off. I love using the paper trimmer for stuff like this. Perfect cut. Isn't that amazing? And you know it's straight. So then the final finishing touches on this super quick and easy card, perfect for lazy stampers. I'm going to put my little fussy cut party hat on, and then I can color it while it's on there. So the colors that are in these lanterns are Blackberry Bliss, Night of Navy, Coastal Cabana, which is the same color as the card base, and Calypso Coral. So those are the coordinating colors that you would have in your pack there. And then you've got 3 of these Gilded Gems. Now, where did my take your pick go? Take your pick. Let's do like that. I like the size of these ones. They're so fun. Does it look like it's a little zebra poop if it's down there? Maybe I can't do that. Oh, the things that cross your mind. I think I'm going to blame it on my 4-year-old. Everything is about poop right now. So we've got that cute little card ready to color. Should we do? Now you might be looking through your collection of blends and saying, oh my gosh, Kelly, I don't have Coastal Cabana blend. How could I not have it? And it's because there isn't one. So I found that the closest color is Pool Party, and that I don't really notice that it's the wrong color. All right, and some Calypso Coral to do those little polka dots. But isn't that cute? What an easy, simple card. And it would look so good, especially, I think, if my swoosh of lanterns was going the other way. Anyways, picky. All right, let me show you where I got these products from. So going to the annual catalog, we've got, of course, got our Zany Zebras set. And then that's the 15% off one. And then we've got our paper pack here is the Playing with Patterns paper. This is a 6x6 inch paper pack, and it is so great for crafting cards like this. So when you craft a card like this, you get to use all the paper in the pack. You just have to cut off 1/2 inch on one of the sides. This is 3 inches wide. So I'm all about using the most of my paper because I hate throwing paper out. And if I don't use the whole thing, then I end up hoarding these little scraps of paper, which make my life a nightmare. So I'm all about the perfect cut card, like 5 times. And we also got the foil sheets, and then of course the paper pumpkin that I showed you, that refill kit for $13. Then we've got the Gilded Gems. These ones are just spectacular. I know many of you have them in your hands right now, but aren't they beautiful? And you can actually color these with the blends too. It works better with different colors as well. Oh, internet issues again. Did it just time out again? I hope that it's not skipping too much. So on this card here, I used some of the thread from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. And then the solid navy ribbon here actually comes from that paper pumpkin kit. And then from my absolute favorite in the whole wide world die pack, the Stitch Shapes. This circle here is the largest circle, and this pack is essential. It gives you 4 different circles, 4 squares, and 4 ovals, all with stitching on them, which just adds such a beautiful touch. Can you guys see that there? So if you don't have that one, honestly, this is a great starter because it just gives you all the different shapes. And I find I gravitate towards circles because you can stamp on them, and it doesn't matter if you're a crooked stamper, you can apply it to your card in a straight way. Okay, you guys ready for the next one? Yes. So excited. I just know that you guys are. We're going to use this Gather Together as well as the rectangle stitched framelits, and we're going to make a card. Some embossed leaves. I even stamped this leaf here, which is just so beautiful and striking. And we've even got some little embellishments up here at the top. Just tuck a little gift card in there and then write your message over here. I like cards that are intuitive, even if they are fun folds and 3Ds. I like people to feel confident in opening them because maybe you've given a card to somebody and they actually didn't know how to open it before, or you needed to instruct them on how to do it. And that's a little bit tricky, and so I find that simple is sometimes better, and especially when you're mass producing. So this card actually features our amazing new designer series paper, and I've cut this and designed this in a way that there is 0 waste for your 12 by 12 inch paper. So this piece of designer series paper is 4 by 4 inches, and this piece of paper is 1 by 4 inches. So there's no waste whatsoever. You can use up that entire sheet, and you can actually make at least 9 of these cards just with 1 sheet of designer series paper of this kind, and then you won't even use a full one of this kind. So I hope that you'll maybe keep this as a template and use this in the future because it's so easy to do. Want to see how to make it? Yeah, you do. I've got a whole bunch of different designs. So you might have received a different pattern paper. Look at this fun with the gourds. And the one that I'm going to be making tonight has these beautiful leaves. And this designer series paper has it in gold and copper. Maybe actually it's not gold, maybe it's the brass, I think. Okay, let's get started. So I've already scored the card base here at 1 1/4, and that's so that I get that nice pocket, we'll call it, for our gift card. Now I'm using an adhesive that, oh my goodness, where did it go? Like, I just used this last night. You'd think that I would have it together. Tear and tape. Oh dear, it's somewhere here, guys, but I'm gonna have to show you something else, I guess. All right, sorry, switching gears. Last time I forgot a whole project upstairs, so I mean, at least this is just an adhesive. I'm going to show you where to put your, oh, I should be using the Stampin' Seal Plus. Now, you guys might wonder what the difference is between these two. The Stampin' Seal is great for everyday projects. The Stampin' Seal Plus has got extra sticking power, and I don't know if you can see it there, but I've actually even done it a little bit further over the edge, and I can wrap that back on itself. It's really fun. I like the tear tape, and I wanted to demonstrate the tear tape, the tear and tape, because it is very narrow. It's actually narrower than any of our adhesives, so it works really well when you're trying to tuck in a little gift card. So say your gift card is like that, right? It just keeps it even more narrow. That's why I was going to say put on the tear tape. But can you guys see where I put my adhesive there? Just on the end and just on the far end there. And that's going to stick it right down. So the Stampin' Seal Plus is really good for 3D projects or anything that has like kind of a moving part that you could be concerned that it might come unstuck. Oh gosh, what do? Do I do the different kind? I think I have to do the back side. The Stampin' Seal is great, but it's similar to our Fast Fuse in that you want to break the end. So make sure you're doing your check mark to break that, the end of that adhesive, so it doesn't kind of curl back on itself. This is fun. It seems kind of crazy to be covering up that beautiful embossing, but what can you do? Oh, before you glue this piece on, we are going to put on some ribbon here. So let me just snip this end. Oh man, there we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on this card. So I use the Stampin' Seal pretty much exclusively, except for when, of course, I want that Stampin' Seal Plus extra hold. Now, if you're just starting off and you're not sure which one you like, why don't you get the full case of one of them that comes with a refill, and then just a refill of the other one, and you can tuck it in. These cases are the exact same, so they're interchangeable. So we've got some Stampin' Seal on the back here with our nice wrapped around ribbon, and that's so that the inside of your card is nice and clean. It's just wrapped around, tucked behind that designer series paper. And I'm going to put a little bit over top of that just to make sure that it's held on nicely. Do you guys have dimensional backers all over your house like me? I just had that one creep back in. It reminds me of when I took off my bra one night, and sure enough, there was a little dimensional backer tucked in there. Oh, Vanessa, thank you so much. You love this card. I so appreciate hearing that. So anytime we're working with vellum, this is one of the big circles, similar, well, it's the exact same as that party animal one. It's cut out on vellum, and vellum is see-through. So you just want to be a little bit cognizant of where you're putting your adhesive. So I like putting something like this leaf or whatever you're embellishing this with on first, and then flipping it over and then putting the Stampin' Seal on the back, making sure that I don't go beyond that because that would make it stick out more. So these gorgeous foil elements are actually just foil paper run through your die cutting machine, and for me, this is one of the biggest wows ever. I'll show you what the die pack looks like. It goes along with the stamp set in that it has coordinating dies for the pumpkins, but it also has, of course, the die that goes along with the leaf, but these 3 leaves here actually cut and emboss. So as soon as you take it out of your machine, it looks like that. Spectacular! So we'll tuck one kind of behind. I'm just doing a dimensional behind these, and I find that it works well to just stick it behind there. And then you might have to do a little haircut for your leaf, depending on where you want your saying. So I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the back side of the saying. This is actually from the rectangle die pack, and it's stitched as well. But if you put this on there, you might see, oh, this actually worked pretty well. But I think I might put it up a little bit. And so you might just want to take your snips and snip off even maybe the bottom of that. And then you can just have the wishing you well. There we go. I just find that looks a little bit cleaner. Now the final finishing touch, and hopefully my club members haven't lost this in their little space here, but it's to put on these little gems. And these are amazing. They've got sparkles in them, but it's not an even application of sparkles. It's just kind of like they've been scattered with sparkles. So I've got 2 of those there, a large and a small. They just come in the 2 different sizes, and I'll show you where they are because you might have overlooked them in the catalog. This card just makes me feel warm and cozy, and I want to bundle up in a sweater and drink something that might taste like pumpkins, who knows. But I hope you guys like this card too. So easy peasy with the gift card holder on the side there, just tucks into this little pocket, and it's a quick little score. So this is totally a card that you can replicate in the future. I hope you like it. Okay, let me show you where we found all those different things, starting with our wonderful gems. So this is on page 31 of our holiday catalog, but they come in the real red and the gold color in a pack. You get 100 of them, and you get the large and the small size. So we're actually going to be using the red ones on another project here tonight. I know you guys are going to fall in love with that because red is not just for Christmas. Red is for Valentine's Day and all year long. So that is definitely a pack of embellishments that is going to be versatile enough for you to use it. On this page here, we are using the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper, and every single one of these sheets has got embossing on them. It is totally spectacular. There's also, we didn't use this kind, but if you wanted a good starter pack for all of the different colors of foil paper, this one is a really great way to start. This gives you bronze, copper, and gold, 2 sheets of each, and they're brushed. So it's an exclusive kind of product that is in this catalog only. This ribbon that we used on this card, this woven one, is from the Basket Weave in metallic. Now they also have this thinner color here. And this is a really beautiful copper one, and it's quite thick. And you can actually kind of pinch it and manipulate it in different ways. So that's a really fun combo pack. I know you're going to love having both of those. Oh, I did one more thing to finish off my card. Hello, I keep forgetting about it. I did some Wink of Stella on there. And I just followed the veins on the cute little leaf here and added a little bit of sparkle. So if you guys haven't used Wink of Stella before, this is actually one of the products that I go to all the time. I actually just keep it kind of handy now, and every single card I kind of look at it at the end, I go, where could I apply a little bit of Wink of Stella? It's just so beautiful. So on there you can see it a little bit. It's not a full application, but it's really pretty for adding that extra touch. This is part of a promotion that I'm offering this month actually. So if you place a $100 order this month, or over a $100 order, then I'm going to give you a Wink of Stella pen, and I'm going to show you a technique at the end as well that you can do with this product. Okay, next page. Oh, there's a little glue dot on there. We've got our Gather Together. This one is a set that came out last year, but it's a returning favorite. It is so beautiful. And then, of course, the dies that go along with it that include those beautiful foil pieces. Okay, in the annual catalog now, we've got, what on this page? Oh dear, I love it when I do stuff like this. Oh, Wink of Stella. There we go. Wink of Stella. And then on this page, of course, our vellum cardstock. This one I use every single month. It's just so perfect for toning down an intense cardstock or an intense cardstock color or an intense pattern on a designer series paper and just grounding the image a little bit more. I love it. And then, of course, I use the foil here. This card, I use the copper foil, just in case you're wondering on the color. Then we've got the stitched rectangles. This is my second most used one. And I used the smallest and longest stitched rectangle for the little saying here. And then, of course, I use the stitch shapes too, because I can't get enough of that one. All right, are you guys ready for the third card that I'm showing you here tonight? So the third card, ooh, I almost knocked over my stand there, is featuring a stamp set that is in our holiday catalog, which can be Christmassy, but is really versatile as well. So I wanted to showcase this one, and I specifically wanted to do something that I've been meaning to do for a while now, and that's to make a welcome to the neighborhood card for my new neighbors. So thank you guys all for playing along. I'm also using a big humongous stamp set from the catalog, the annual catalog. This one's called Well Said, and it includes 51 stamps of every single stamp that you'll need. Now, if you've been stamping for a while, I'm sure you've got some stamps. I'm positive that you do. But what I find that I need now as an experienced stamper are sayings. So for me, that stamp set is really essential because I need to have a custom saying that's going to work for the special card that I'm doing. Now I'm getting a few things ready as I talk here because I'm going to be using our new die cut and embossing machine this beauty to create this next card. Can I show you it? Here it is. Time for a new adventure. And this is a fun fold card. And when it opens up, you've got this congratulations that you can write. And then you've got the 3D neighborhood. So this card for me is just so much fun. I love that it's got this green meadow and then it swoops up to this beautiful hill up the top. And then of course they can display it in their new home. I've done 2 different variations depending on, you know, what kind of house people have. But I really like that this stamp set gives me lots of different options for houses. Okay, let me show you first of all, as people get their pieces together, I'm going to show you how I made this swoop. So I cut a card front to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, our standard size, and I did a little score line in here, 1 inch up. And I got that dimension because this strip here is going to be 1 inch on my card. So I wanted it to start at 1 inch and then swoop up from there. So to get the 1 inch, I just scored here. Now I'm going to use my washi tape to hold my die in place. And I'm going to make this nice swoop come up. And out of a card front size, you can actually get 2 of these nice swoops. So we're going to glide it through. This new one just glides like butter. It's so wonderful to send it through. And it cuts really, really well. Also, these little pieces fold up like this. So it's great for stamping on the go or cranking on the go, which is what I do a lot of. I kind of mentioned that all of my club cards this year so far, or this summer so far, have actually been traveling with me stamping. So camping stamping, pretty fun. All right, so I've got my swoop. Now I'm actually going to be using the back side of the swoop, and you'll notice that when you use the back side, it's kind of inevitable to get some little scratchies, and that's just from the cutting plate embossing into it, but I like it. It gives it a little bit extra texture. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Kelly, get on with it. Let's make this card. Okay, how do we put this all together? So we've got the base here, and it's actually scored in half and then in half. So this is just a regular piece of 8 1/2 by 11, cut in half down the middle. So we've got 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I've scored it in half, which is at 5 1/2 inches, and then I've scored that in half again. So it's 2 3/4 of an inch from this side here. So I'm going to use my bone folder and just squish this down. And I'm going to move this out of the way so that I don't get these damaged. And let's bring in this card again so we can look at how things are coming together. Okay, so with this card, it's going to be opening like this. I've got the exact same scores happening on this sheet here. And we're just going to, again, fold that up and then score it like that. So now our card, when we put it together, is going to be flat across the front here, and the little Z part folding onto the flat back. And the little Z part on the back piece is going to be on the front. So front to back, the Zs are kind of facing each other. I don't know a way of describing this to you that's going to make you understand other than just showing it to you. Okay, so when you're putting together a card like this, what I like to do is just, you know, figure it out how it's actually going to work, do a trial run, and then apply your adhesive. So I put it like this, and then I flip it over, and I'm going to put some Stamp and Seal on the back. The back is going to have one short section, and then the other half visible section of the long section. Don't put any adhesive on the inside there, okay? Then you're just going to flip that over and put it along the bottom. Now, if you're crafting along with me at home, don't worry, you can go back and you can watch this as many times as you need to figure that fold out. But I sure hope that yours looks like this. Now I'm going to put on my adorable little hill. Now there's a section of this that actually is visible from the back side here, and by visible I mean there's a possibility that you could stick your card together. So what I'm going to say for ease of use is don't put any adhesive on the hill itself. Put the adhesive on this piece, which is going to be completely covered up by our hill. And I'm just going to stick this down here like this. Okay, so we've got our piece there. Now, there's some coloring to do on this card too. So you might notice I've got a couple of trees, well, a few trees popped out. Some of them are stamped in the black here, and some of them are stamped in the smoky slate to go along with our background here. Now, our background is going to go at the back, and those trees are going to be put on there 3D. Can you guys see that? Yes. And then, let's do that now. Then at least that's done. Oh, look at me using Stampin' Seal for everything. Stampin' Seal Plus for everything, I mean. All right, so when I put this on, I'm going to have a frame at the left and the right sides and the top, but I'm going to be putting it right against this bottom. And I'm going to wait for this other little piece that's going in here with the congratulations, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but I'll get you started on some other things here too. So I'm going to do some coloring. The colors that I used, the green in this is actually our brand new Just Jade color. So why don't I do that? I kind of like sometimes with anything that's smaller like this to actually stick it on to my project first. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. Now, when you're gluing your house down, you might have a little bit of an overhang here. So just be aware that you're not putting any dimensionals where you are going to be putting your house onto the card. You'll soon figure that out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll know if you make that mistake. So there we go. I'm going to put my house on there. My house is kind of half colored. I did a quick color on some of the darker colors that I'm putting in. I used the Pool Party for the windows, and then I've used Cherry Cobbler for the main house. And then now I'm going to go back with the light Cherry Cobbler and just blend this in a little bit. With our alcohol markers, which are our blends, we can actually adjust the coloring, and you can see I'm just blending away those lines as I go over them. So this is a really fun and easy, I think, way of coloring. It's forgiving. It doesn't show the pen lines so much, and you've got flexibility. You also have a marker that you can purchase called the Color Lifter. And this is essentially kind of like a whiteout pen, but a bleach pen. It's not going to do anything really crazy, but you can see I colored over a little bit there. I can lift the color by applying this Color Lifter, and it's just going to kind of blend it away a little bit. Okay, for the roof, you can see I've put on some details already with my dark marker. And can you see what I've done with the little chimney? I've made little stones on there. So that's with the darker one. Now I'm going to go over top of it with the lighter color. And matchy, I'm using my gray to coordinate with the gray that I've stamped at the back, which is our smoky slate. So again, quick and easy coloring. And I'm going to choose not to blend that very much so that it's still going to show those cute little bricks. Can you see that? Then for the door, I used So Saffron, and I'm just going to use the dark color just to get on with things there. I love that these have two tips. One big tip and the fine tip too, because you definitely need that sometimes. For the tree, all I did was put in a little bit of extra shade with the darker one. And then instead of introducing a brown into things, I actually just used gray for the stump. So this is the same gray, this is our dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to stick that on there. There we go. Now I'm going to go over top with the Just Jade lighter colored marker, and I can move this ink around that I've already put on there. These markers are just like magic. If you have regular water-based markers, and if you haven't tried an alcohol-based marker, I wish I could get this into your hands right now. I wish you could be teleported to my basement so that we can play with these together, because I just know that you're going to have a good experience coloring with these markers. So they're a bit of an investment, but honestly, your coloring experience is going to be totally changed. I've already colored this tree, so I'm just going to stick that guy there. And then on the back, we'll stick these other cute ones here. Maybe I want that there. Maybe I want the bigger one here. Oops. I love it when those dimensional backers can't come off as easily as you'd like. There we go. So just a little bit more 3D. Now for the front, I'll have to put all these markers away. So for the front, I'm going to use something that I've already pre-stamped and punched out, and then a little piece of our adorable little gingham ribbon. So when I'm using this and creating this cute little tag up at the top, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on. You don't need very much. Here we go. Fold it in half. Then I do my little haircut on it. Trim and trim. I have to do a haircut on my son one of these days. He's thinking he wants to grow his hair out as long as mine is, and he's looking like a ragamuffin. All right, then a little bit of adhesive on the back side of that, and I just tucked it onto the card like here, and then dimensionals here, and I just tuck this saying over top. Time for a new adventure. I thought that was a fun kind of gender neutral way. It's not too blingy, but it's a fun way of adding a little bit of extra something onto the card texturally. Now, can I show you how I got this congratulations perfectly stamped on there? Oh, I'm so happy that you said yes, because I'm going to. Is anyone talking to me while they're at home? Because I am the crazy person talking to myself in the basement. I use this Stamparatus to get perfect placement for the houses when I stamped them, and then also for this congratulations. If you don't have this tool, it is pretty essential. It's pretty handy to have, especially when you're making multiples. So for swap cards, oh my goodness, this is just a lifesaver. So it has this hinge on it that you stick your stamp on, and it's wonderful because you can use the grid to line it up perfectly. And once you have it lined up perfectly, you can just keep putting your paper in the same spot. I always use the bottom left corner, and then you've got perfect placement every time. So opening up my ink pad here, I'm a little bit zoomed in, so I'll show you. Try to show you everything, but I just ink it up lightly there, and then I'm going to hinge it down, ensuring that my paper placement didn't move when I was fiddling around there. And then ta-da, you've got perfect placement every single time. I just love this tool. So you can also use the hinges on this one to lift it out, and then you can move this along. So you can actually create repeating designs that are a lot of fun. And if you want any tutorials, honestly, just look online and you'll see all kinds of different things, different tutorials on things that you can do with the Stamparatus. Okay, stamp and seal. We're going to just do a couple of those, a couple strips of that, and then we can just tuck it right down here. It's going to be equal, same as the other sheet that we did. So equal. Now, this card for me makes my heart so happy because I really like fun fold cards, but I like cards, like I said, that are intuitive. So they make sense to people. So this one, they don't have to be looking on the back side for a message. As soon as they open the card up, they're going to see the wonderful message that you can write, and you can actually write in it because it folds flat. Write your message, and then it's a cute little decoration too. Isn't that adorable? I hope you guys like it. Okay, last card. Can you believe it? We're just zooming through these tonight. Not really, but that's okay. We are using some flocked paper. This is our new designer series paper, and it comes in 3 patterns. I've got 2 of them here. I used up the other whole sheet, but maybe I'll show you on my sample. And these are amazing. Can you hear it? It's soft, it's felted. So this pattern is done on vellum as well. So you can put it over top of any color of paper. You guys can see I've got a whole bunch of different colors there, but it gives a totally different look depending on what you put it over. Now, the internet is never going to do this justice, but I wanted to show you that as well so that you can think of all the different ways to use this product. Now, another way that you can use this product is to use our blends, which are kind of that's what we used on our last card. It's an alcohol base, so it's similar to a Sharpie marker, but with our coordinating colors. And you can color on the back side, and look at that. You can turn it into like a stained glass, kind of felted stained glass look. Isn't that cute? Oh! So maybe if you guys have a sheet of this in front of you at home, maybe you're oohing and ahhing along with me. I hope you are. This last card here, it features a fun fold and some flocking. And this fold, when you open it, is like, oh, I stored this other little one here for later. But this is a fun fold that is an easel. So it actually keeps your card open, and you can write your little message there, and then it will sit on their mantle and be on display. But again, very intuitive for people to open it up, and kind of a fun little discovery that they can prop it up like that. Do you guys want to see how to make it? Yes! Oh, can I show you this too? If you are lucky, and if you don't pop out all of these pieces here, which maybe you want to buy a lottery ticket if that happens. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. You can use your Stampin' Blends to actually color on the metallic foil and turn those into colored foil. Isn't that fun? You might not have your swap cards including all those little bits and pieces, but if you do, maybe go out and get a lottery ticket because you must be very lucky. So let's put together our pieces. Again, with this card, I wanted to make it quite intuitive that you could template in the future. So you might want to keep this card, assemble it, but then keep it so that you can template it in the future. Now we've got all the different styles of paper here. Can you guys see? This is the holly and the berries. That's the third design. Now, when you're putting this on, you might be gung-ho, but just stop for a second and look at the pattern. This is probably the most challenging of all the patterns to put on, but you're going to want to put your adhesive in behind where some of the flocking is so that it doesn't show through. I'd recommend just kind of putting it into the center of these designs. You can use a glue dot. That might be a little bit more direct in terms of application, but that's all you need to do. You're going to start with those. There we go. So just a little bit will actually hold it on. It does very well. And because they're not moving this part of the card, I don't think you have to worry too much about, you know, people pulling something off. Now the next thing that you can do is take the piece of, what is this one? Coastal Cabana that is scored, and we're just going to fold over the top. Use your bone folder, give that nice crease, and then this is going to hang over and create our little flap easel. Okay, so we're going to put on some adhesive. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because anytime that you're using something that's going to be moving around a little bit, you want to use your plus. And I'm going to center it on the front and then fold it over. So center it and then fold it back and press it on there. Now you're going to see that there's a little bit of an overhang. There's no two ways about this. You just have to have the overhang and then trim it off if you want it to be perfect. If you're using your score mat or your scoring blade for this cutting mat, then it is just going to make it a little bit too long. So the only way to get it perfect and not too short is to cut it and score it like this, and then you can just trim off that little tiny bit of excess. I hope I didn't lose you there. we've got a little piece inside, and I've stamped on here, may you cherish the wonder of the season now and throughout the year. And I'm going to put that on in the inside. This piece I am going to put on with some Stampin' Seal Plus. Uh-oh, you can see in the back there, I didn't get perfect placement that time. I got a little bit of a halo, so I had to re-stamp that. But the wonderful thing about paper is that there's two sides, and the person who gets this will never know that I'm a human being too, and not perfect every time. Can you guys see that? Perfectly centered, hidden under that flap. And now let's get started here with this red piece. Now, before you get gung-ho on this, remember that we're not going to be adhering that part, only this little section here. So what I did, so that I didn't get carried away, is I centered it completely on the card. And that means equal, 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 equal. Marked it with my finger, and then I'm going to use, again, some Stampin' Seal Plus and go only from the score line up to my fingernail, where I've marked where the edge of that red is going to be. I can hear my son yelling for my husband upstairs. I think I mentioned already poop once in this, so I'm going to say it again, but he's yelling, I pooped! This is my life, you guys. All right, so I hope that you're not overwhelmed by that. This is going to be that nice little easel here. But let me show you as well how to get this Merry Christmas. Now, this is something that I really do skip over a fair bit whenever I'm demoing. But you know what? This is by far my favorite technique. And I want to show it to you. So I'm using Versamark. I'm using this Merry Christmas from the set, and I'm going to stamp that on there. When I stamp it, you're going to see it's completely clear, sticky ink. Then I grab my embossing powder. I like to keep it on this little tray here, but you can use like a Tupperware container. And then when I sprinkle it on there, just like cinnamon sugar on toast, then I can see I've got this beautiful Merry Christmas now showing up. Now, it's not ready to go. If I were to rub this right now, that powder is not stuck on there so well that it's going to stay. You actually have to heat set it. So this is using our heat tool, and you just have to heat it for a minute. But when this starts to go, I know you guys are going to ooh and ah at home. I always ooh and ah myself, even after, well, I've been a demonstrator for 13 years, but it must be about 15 years of stamping. Can you guys see that starting to go? So the end is not set there, but look at that as it starts to go. Beautiful. Okay, so because this is a heated embossed, then we can now go back and it's going to resist. So you could even do this in white, and then as soon as you do the swoosh over the top here, it's going to color it in, or sorry, it's going to leave that uncolored and color only around it. So using my matching color, Coastal Cabana, and my new water painters, these come in a pack of 3. And they have a big brush tip and a small brush tip and a humongous fan brush tip. Really a good purchase. And these ones just, I fill with water. You can fill it with other things too. You can even put the re-inker inside of the reservoir and do the swoosh. But look at that. Isn't that fun? Well, I'm going to need a little bit more, I think. How did that happen? I'm never too shy on my ink, usually. This has to be a first time for everything, right? There we go. So this swoosh, I'm just going to kind of take it back and forth. And you can play with it. This paper, did you notice? It's a little bit different than our regular Whisper White and our Very Vanilla. This paper is our shimmery white cardstock. So maybe I'll show you on the inside here. It actually has subtle shimmers in there. Can you guys see that? If you were to compare that with a Very Vanilla, you'd see the a big difference there in the shimmers and the sparkles. And it's not even quite Whisper White either. It's just a little bit off. So I really like, if I'm using this on a project, I like to use it all over. And the reason why we can do this fun technique with that is because it's got a little bit of a coating on it. And so it's going to resist the water penetrating the paper as much as, say, a Whisper White or a Very Vanilla. Watercolor paper will be similar, but this shimmer just shines through and sparkles and gives such a beautiful look. So I just did a little bit of heat tool there. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because can you guys see that? When you heat the paper and wet the paper, it gives a little bit of a warped look going on here. So this extra adhesive is just going to hold it nice and flat. And that's just going to go on top of our Real Red. Do you like that nice bright Real Red along with the Coastal Cabana? I just love this color combination. So this little bell here, I actually popped the pieces out and then put a little bit of cardstock in behind there. So there's some green cardstock and some red cardstock too. So that's another option. But what I'm going to do here is just pop out all these little pieces. Die brush is great for that. If you don't have one of these, make sure you put it on your wish list. It'll keep you from cursing at your dies. It just pops it right out. So I've already got some dimensionals on here, ready to go. So I'm going to stick that over there. I don't know if you can hear. Everyone's home from their bike ride, so they're stomping upstairs. It's always an adventure. I just love those happy noises, though. These are the noises of my life. Okay, so some dimensionals on there, and I'm actually going to put a double dimensional on there because I'm going to even out, because there's already a dimensional under this big bell. So we've got our cute little Merry Christmas. We've got our big bells on there. Now you hope that you haven't lost your tiny little bell. I will find it afterwards, but anyways, you put your little bell on the inside and that just goes under a dimensional or on top of a dimensional so that it's going to hold your card in place and keep that easel open. Love, love, love. Yay, Bilka, thank you so much. Oh, I found my little bell. Hooray. So just put your bell above any saying that you stamp there so that when your easel is open, you can have your little signed names or your little message that you put there, and that can be on display for whoever you give this card to. Now, final finishing touch is to put on some extra little embellishments here. And these are the other half of that embellishment kit that I showed you before. Oh, did I not take you through the samples for the last one? Did I? Did I not? I feel like I didn't. All right, so this card is finished. If you're crafting along with me at home, you've got a little bit of time to catch up. And I'll just put that to the side so you can see it. And I'll show you where I found all those other products for the last card here. So this is the Well Said. This is the one with 51 stamps in it, which include everything. And it's a really nice neutral font. So it's not too feminine, masculine, too swirly or anything. And it's a great size. So on that last card, we were using another bit of ribbon here from the Flowers for Every Season combo pack. And we were also using my favorite punch that I use all the time, the Classic Label. And that was the one that goes for that little saying there. Just fits. Also for the last card, of course, we had our houses and trees that I stamped. So that's from the Coming Home bundle. And this die pack has a swoosh hill and then a swoosh hill with trees as well. The swoosh hill with trees is the one that I used tonight. For the card that I just finished making here, then we've got our beautiful Plush Poinsettia specialty paper. And again, that comes in the 3 different patterns and you get 2 of each of the 3 designs in that paper pack. I know that's on some of your lists this month. I know you already wanted them. I hope you're happy with your decisions once you finally see it in person and get to touch it. The Wonderful Gems, the red ones, are the ones that we used. These ones are faceted and have sparkle in them too, so they're pretty fun as well. They're pretty flashy. Then, of course, we've got the Cherish the Season. This is a stamp set that comes with that beautiful Merry Christmas, which I think is just probably the most perfect font I've ever seen for Merry Christmas. And may you cherish the wonder of the season now and throughout the year, which I think is just the perfect saying. In this die pack, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 bells that you actually get cut out with the Big Shot like this with the details on them. And then you also get 2 outlines, which go along with the bells that you can stamp too, and you get some sprigs too. So there's lots of great stuff in that set. And then of course we used our foil and our embossing. So our Versamark, our heat tool, our silver embossing powder. We used our brand new water painters. And for here we used our silver foil. And that's all she wrote. Do you guys want to see something else that I made last night? It's a swap card, and I want to see likes and hearts if you'd like to see a video on how I made this card. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's lots of fun. Okay, Bilka says yes, yes, yes. Anyone else? Anyone else want to see it? This one totally channels my amazing need to go to a beach somewhere. So I just created this lovely little beach scene. So this is actually a swap card that I'm doing for my club members. I hope they like it. But this one makes me feel a lot of happy, wonderful feelings. So can you guys see there's a bit of Wink of Stella? We've got a product that's actually not around anymore. And then we've got, of course, our mason jar punch and our domes too. Isn't that fun? So I know that I had fun putting this together last night, and it almost took me on a little mini vacation as well. So if you guys want to see this as a tutorial, I'd love to see those loves and hearts, and I'd love to show you a video of how I put this together. So, okay, maybe I'll do that in the future. I'm seeing some hearts. That's really exciting. You guys want to see one more thing before we go? If you watched my other video the other day, you might have seen this already, but I want to show you it again. This is showcasing our Wink of Stella and the fact that we can actually paint with it. So we can use it as a glimmer. When you use it as a glimmer, you can just put it over the top and it paints on just like that. Or you can actually use this as an actual paint brush. So I'm picking up some ink that I've already put on this block, and I'm going to paint with it. So sometimes you have to be a little bit aware of how much color you're putting on, and then I like to come back in after I've got most of the color off and then just kind of fill it in a little bit. But can you guys see that? How it's just actually painting it in. The fluid is moving around, almost like the water painters do. Do you guys want to see a finished card with that? Maybe you've seen it before, I don't know, but say yes, 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 yes. So this card here has got Wink of Stella painting all over it. Isn't that fun? You can do it with the green. The green that I used on this card is garden green, actually. And then I had a lot of questions about what I used for the embellishments in the center. And this is a demonstrator swap that I did, and we had to do 20 of these cards. But it was kind of at the last minute that we found out that we had 20. And unfortunately, I only had 18 of these beaded pearls. But you guys want to see how those compare to the pearls that I put on? So these are the brand new beaded pearls here. So you can see they've got a little bit of metal on them and kind of, what's it called when it, on a ring when it holds it in place. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. And then this is actually just 6 of our pearls just nested together. So it's an alternative if you don't have enough of these cute new beaded pearls. The swap that I did was not actually with this Wink of Stella. I did a little bit of a simpler version, which took less time for me, but I think was still beautiful. And this one is actually using a sponge dauber to color it in. So I stamped the outlines of these poinsettias and had them in the green and the red. And then I took a sponge dauber, inked it up, and then just kind of blended it out a little bit. And this embossing folder is definitely going to be one that you put on your list though. This is our Dainty Diamonds, and this is it with the diamonds pointing out. Can you guys see that? I'll show you the inside. This is it with the diamonds pointing in. Isn't it pretty? It's just one of the most beautiful and elegant embossing folders that I've seen. I hope you guys like that. I don't want to leave you. I'm just so enjoying our company together tonight. But thank you so much for joining me. Let's see if I can turn you around again. I'm playing with fire when I do this. Hi! So thank you guys so much for joining me, and thanks for watching to the end. I so appreciate it. If you want to get your Wink of Stella, you can add on to any order that you've placed already this month, and I'd be happy to add on a Wink of Stella for you. So anyways, thank you again. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope to stamp with you again soon. Bye guys.